Jungle was the second Pokemon trading card game expansion and was released in June of 1999. It featured 48 new Pokemon cards, and despite its limited size, it was a smash hit, and the first edition print run of the set sold out almost immediately. Pokemon cards were everywhere in the summer of '99. Bookstores, gas stations, grocery stores, the mall, toy stores, you name it, you could find Pokemon cards there. It's crazy to think about how easy it used to be to find a booster box that looked like this back in the summer of '99. I remember vividly as a kid running around the community pool with a binder of Pokemon cards under my arm, eating Fun Dip and Warheads, sipping on Surge soda, and trading Pokemon cards with anybody who had them. It was the turn of the century. I was about to enter the 5th grade, and the craze of Pokemon only added to the excitement that already filled the air. That summer was one of the most memorable periods of my life. There was something magical about Pokemon cards. They brought so much life to the Pokemon we knew from the Game Boy games, and trading cards was the premier social activity of the summer. For many kids, like myself, Pokemon provided a gateway to self-expression and socializing like nothing else that existed before it. At this point, I'd been to a Pokemon League at Toys R Us and learned how to play the game. By far, my favorite card was Clefable from Jungle. I opened one from a single pack my parents got me at Ocean City, Maryland, and I remember reading the card and being like, this thing is broken. I paraded it around to all my friends, telling them that my Clefable could easily dispose of their prized Charizard, but none of them really wanted to hear it. I was probably just salty that I never owned a Charizard of my own, but I was definitely right. Clefable can easily womp on a base set Charizard. Clefable is one of the strongest Pokemon in Jungle and arguably has one of the most versatile attacks ever printed on a Pokemon card. Of the 48 unique cards in Jungle, only a handful of them are good in competitive play, and most of them expand on the strategies already established in base set. There is only one trainer in Jungle, Pokeball, and it's not what you would call good. There is one card, however, that made a sizable impact on the meta and would be included in nearly every base Jungle deck. Scyther.
Scyther! Use Slash Attack! Shiner!
Scyther's 70 HP, free retreat, colorless attack cost, and minus 30 resistance to fighting made it a staple in almost every base Jungle deck. Players thought that Scyther would be the downfall of Hitmonchan, but that was not the case. Instead, Scyther was paired with Hitmonchan and Electabuzz to make Haymaker decks even more powerful than they were before. Scyther's colorless attack cost means that it can easily be paired with any attacker, and is one of the first Pokemon that makes great use of base set's double colorless energy. Slash deals 30 damage for 3 colorless energy, and Swords Dance helps to build momentum before a slash attack, giving players the option to deal big damage and potentially score one-hit KOs the following turn. With weaknesses and resistances playing such a big role in the early Pokemon trading card game, mobility is huge. Scyther's free retreat makes it the best starter in the game, allowing players to easily pivot to an optimal attacker while resisting Hitmonchan altogether. Scyther is the all-star of Jungle, and its relevance would outlast both Hitmonchan and Electabuzz as the format evolves with the release of each additional set. Another excellent Pokemon from Jungle is Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff's Do the Wave attack can hit 60 damage when the bench is full, and with a single plus power can reach 70 damage, one-hit KOing the format's most popular Pokemon for just 3 colorless energy. Wigglytuff's colorless typing allows it to be paired with many Pokemon, but Scyther is the most popular choice. Not only is Scyther the ideal bench sitter for Do the Wave because of its free retreat, it also covers Wigglytuff and Jigglypuff's fighting weaknesses with its fighting resistance. At 80 HP, Wigglytuff boasts good bulk and is slightly more difficult to knock out than Hitmonchan and Electabuzz. Energy removal is Wigglytuff's worst enemy, but double colorless energy helps Wigglytuff build up powerful Do the Wave attacks quickly, while Last from base set helps to protect against energy removal. If Wigglytuff's energy does get removed, Lullaby is a nice option to inflict sleep and bide time while another Do the Wave is built up. Even though evolution Pokemon like Wigglytuff still struggle with the speed and aggression of Haymaker decks, Wigglytuff is definitely a fan favorite and one of the most memorable Pokemon from the 1999 formats.
Clefable? Clefable!
Clefable's Metronome attack copies any attack on the defending Pokemon except for its attack cost and anything else required to perform that attack, like discarding energy. That's totally busted. Clefable can use any attack for just 1 colorless energy. Imagine if Clefable was legal today. It'd be broken. With only a single energy attack cost, Clefable pairs perfectly with Super Energy Removal, Super Potion, and Pokemon Center to dish out pressure while easily glancing off hits. The biggest things holding Clefable back are its fighting weakness and Clefairy's lowly 40 hit points. Hitmonchan can gust and one-hit KO Clefairy with its jab attack before Clefairy ever gets to evolve into Clefable. To cover these weaknesses, Lass and Scyther make good partners to protect from gust and wall against Hitmonchan. As Pokemon continue to get stronger attacks with each expansion, Clefable's potential increases as well. Clefable's a ton of fun to play with, and I like the card so much that it made its way onto my top 10 favorite Pokemon cards of all time list. While most Pokemon from this era take multiple turns to charge up their best attacks, Clefable has access to them instantly with an efficient metronome.
Capture missile! Fire!
The lone psychic Pokemon in Jungle, Mr. Mime is famous for its Invisible Wall Pokemon power. Even though Mr. Mime only has 40 hit points, Invisible Wall makes it so that whenever 30 or more damage is dealt to Mr. Mime, it is prevented. Some Pokemon, like Scyther, can't even damage Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime pairs well with Potion and Alakazam to remove damage so that Mr. Mime can swing with Meditate turn after turn. Meditate does 10 damage plus 10 more damage for each damage counter on the defending Pokemon, which isn't a lot at first, but eventually adds up. Mr. Mime is the best psychic attacker in base jungle format and one of the few viable Pokemon that can hit Hitmonchan for weakness. Mr. Mime in a format without a way to remove Pokemon powers is every stall player's dream. Imagine a deck with Mr. Mime, Chansey, and Alakazam moving damage off of Mr. Mime turn after turn and healing it all off with Pokemon Center. It'd be pretty easy to deck out the opponent. According to three-time world champion Jason Klaczynski, both Dodrio and Lickitung from Jungle were overlooked in 1999, but worth using if revisiting the format. Jason goes as far as to call Dodrio the best evolved Pokemon from the first three sets. Dodrio's Retreat Aid Pokemon power decreases your active Pokemon's retreat cost by a colorless as long as Dodrio is on the bench, and it stacks. With 2 Dodrio in play, your active Pokemon's retreat cost is reduced by 2 colorless, and so on. With 2 Dodrio in play, popular Pokemon like Hitmonchan can have their retreat cost reduced to 0. Since weakness and resistance play such a huge role in base to jungle format, the mobility offered by Dodrio opens up the possibility for many counter decks to be built. Make sure to check out Jason Klaczynski's blog for some sweet deck lists featuring Dodrio. A beefy 90 hit points and a 1 energy attack that paralyzes makes Lickitung a tough Pokemon to take down in base to jungle format. Even with the fighting weakness, Lickitung is only 3 hit KO'd by Hitmonchan's jab attack. Lickitung works great with Super Scoop Up to deny prizes while serving up annoying tongue wrap attacks. Lickitung also works as an excellent wall for Alakazam to bide time while Alakazam is set up. Lickitung can also be played with Scyther to formulate a frustrating stall deck, as Scyther's fighting resistance covers Lickitung's fighting weakness. Similar to Lickitung, Kangaskhan is colorless, has 90 hit points, 3 retreat, and a single energy attack used to bide time while setting up. Kangaskhan's fetch attack is good for drawing through the deck and pulling out of last-induced dead draws while more powerful Pokemon are set up on the bench. When Kangaskhan is paired with support like Venusaur from base set, you may even get to launch a powerful Comet Punch attack. Rapidash is the most splashable fire Pokemon in base to jungle format, which is valuable because it hits Scyther for weakness. 70 hit points and free retreat are awesome stats for a stage 1 Pokemon, and Rapidash's stomp attack can be used for just a single double colorless energy, which does 20 damage plus 10 more on a coin flip. If you hit heads on stomp and use a plus power, you can 1-hit KO Scyther for just 2 colorless energy. Although small, Jungle is a welcome addition to the Pokemon trading card game and expands on many of the resource management strategies introduced in base set. Scyther brings a whole new dimension to the metagame by providing the first significant check to Hitmonchan, while Clefable, Wigglytuff, and Dodrio bolster base set's cast of playable evolution Pokemon. Base to Jungle is one of my favorite Wizards of the Coast formats to revisit and showcases some of the most iconic strategies from 1999. If you're looking to build and play a Haymaker Mirror, I definitely suggest using Base to Jungle format, as Scyther brings a new dimension to that matchup, which is a lot of fun to explore. I've made a lot of videos on deck lists from this era, which I'll drop in the description below, but also make sure to check out Jason Klaczynski's blog. It's a fantastic read on early Pokemon trading card game strategy. And that about does it for my video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make make sure to like the video, sub the channel, ring that bell. Check me out on Twitch, where I stream Pokemon trading card game content every single weekday, twitch.tv/TrickyJam. And if you're looking to build old school decks yourself, please check out FullGripGames.com. We have a vast library of Pokemon trading card game singles dating all the way back to the original cards from 1999. And make sure to stay tuned for my next video on 1999's Fossil expansion. Have a good one. Peace.